I'm Philippa and I'm with Extinction Rebellion in Cardigan. I think it was seeing that huge thing in London right at the beginning when they took over all the bridges. My partner and I were watching it and thought, wow, something's happening, because it came out just at the same time as the IPCC report, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, which was saying this is absolutely dead serious, we really need to do something fast now. And then they had this great explosion of people in London taking over the bridges, and it had an effect. The government kind of more or less within weeks, I think, passed a thing saying, yes, there is a climate emergency. And we thought, right, this is amazing. This really seems to be working. Having said that, we were both of us really slow then to join. We were just a bit a bit wary. Would these be people we could work with? Would these be rabid extremists we couldn't work with? Would they feel, would we feel comfortable with this group of people? And so what happened was just kind of gradually, over quite a long time, kind of started going to meetings and meeting some of the people, and then feeling, yes, we can work with these people. There's a wide range of people here, and they seem perfectly normal, perfectly reasonable, but all really concerned, just as we are. But in fact, I was still working at the time, so I just didn't have time to put anything into it. And then gradually I did take part in some things. There was an action in Cardiff, and both of us went down there and took part, and were part of a big crowd kind of closing the street, talking to people. And that was a lot less scary than I'd worried about. I found it really scary to go, but it was absolutely fine. And then when COVID came, things got really difficult, and we kind of, it was just difficult to do anything on the streets. But also during that time I retired. So in fact then I had a lot more time to be able to give to Extinction Rebellion, so that once we got going again, we kept going on Zoom. Once we got going again properly, I was able to actually take part in things. I'd say that there's a lot of variation within Extinction Rebellion. There literally is a role for everyone. There's a role for people making films, there's a role for people doing artwork, there's a role for people making cakes. You don't have to be on the street protesting. So we're running this street stall today in Cardigan. I really enjoy that. Other people would find it absolutely the last thing they'd want to do. So more or less anything you enjoy doing that you could put in. And also sometimes it's just people having contact. You might say, we want to approach the school and see if they might be interested in this, and then someone says, yes, I know a teacher who's in the school. It's just things like that, and also contributing ideas. There's just so much that people can do, as well as the more kind of high-profile things, maybe like getting arrested or blocking a road.
I confirm I am duly authorised to speak on behalf of the company. We have to advise you that you do not have the company's permission to be on its property, and your unlawful and unauthorised presence on site constitutes a breach of the law, including criminal justice.
We have some who've found it good to work with the local authority, and engage local councillors and talk to them and writing letters to the paper. There are just so many things people can do, and you don't have to be a rabid extremist, but you can be if you want to be.
What has been the response from people on the street here in Cardigan generally? What have you found?
Well, it's a little bit of a selective audience, because we call people over and say, are you interested in this? And so occasionally you get someone who just, you get quite a few people who just say no, or they're busy and they walk past. But the people who do come to us, mostly, we get an amazing response.
So, by starting something like that is really important, isn't it?
The thing of people coming together and working together.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Do you think that
people are really concerned. People are incredibly concerned, and so many people. It's absolutely in the front of their minds, and people are eyes filled with tears, and thinking about my grandchildren, thinking about what's going to happen, and I think it's easy to get disheartened and think, nothing's happening, but in fact there are things happening all over the world. There are people doing things all over the world in all sorts of different ways. Not all Extinction Rebellion by any means, but just local projects, kind of biodiversity and, car shares, all these kind of things. There's so much that's being done.
Why Extinction Rebellion and not, for example, Greenpeace or Friends of the Earth?
For me, it doesn't really matter. I don't mind at all if someone joins Greenpeace or Friends of the Earth instead of joining Extinction Rebellion. As I say, it was something that I joined because it would seem to be having a really massive effect. But Greenpeace and Friends of the Earth do as well. So it was just a kind of slightly different approach. Maybe the timing was right. So I joined, and now that I'm joined, I'm still in it because I know and work with the people, and we develop projects together. Different groups are doing different things, but also there's a lot of cooperation. So occasionally one group will set up a big thing, have a big day of events where the public can come, and then other groups might go and join in with that. But also we're all under the umbrella of XR Cymru, and we're all under, the XR Cymru is also under the umbrella of Climate Cymru, which is a massive umbrella with, I think it's probably hundreds of movements. If you want to look it up, it says Tanya, bad and good banks. Absolutely everything, and they do it, once and for all. You don't have to keep going back and checking the next year. It's all just done.
On the whole, it's Barclays and HSBC. That was Lloyds.
I hear Aberteifi with us.
No, you just did back to climate change.